Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hey,
We are
people,
here. We are here.
we are here, but we are not live.
We are not live.
We are dead.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, this is the first recorded show, people. We're actually going to give this show to you at a more, well, supposedly a more reasonable time, but we'll see exactly how reasonable the time it is because we haven't exactly decided when we're going to post this up, have we? But we're going to post this up.
No, we have not decided when we're gonna actually post this live. Um, but it will be our weekly scheduled show on Wednesdays. So,
On Wednesdays.
um,
The live show will still go on as planned, so we'll have a chat-in show. We're just updating the scheduling so we actually have shows on a channel. Oh, look at that. Yeah, yeah. So
got
hopefully
it.
we
And we got a little different layout for this.
little different layout prep for this the new
Um,
show.
yep. So this week we're gonna be talking about point defense, and we're going to also be talking about design philosophies, or
Philosophy.
as some people like to say, philosophies.
You're so fucking formal over there. All right, that's really cool.
Philosophies coming at you live
Philosophy.
from the recording.
Oh my God, this is going to be
So yeah,
strange.
go ahead and
Okay,
lead us
so
in into point
so do you
defense.
guys have? Do any of you guys have a plane that does point defense? Well, no, you don't. Um, the reason being is like typically like it's when you think about it, you think about it being your like a short range version of your interceptor. Okay, point defense is basically what we kind of construe as our patrol fighters, except of course they have the shorter range. And in truth, I've basically had one of the first and only ones back in the day. Mark there's been with us a long time, but I don't think even he remembers it because I'm pretty sure I retired it even during the great realignment, so 94, and it was gone. Um, but again, we're talking about a plane who flies like your interceptor, but flies like a shorter range. Like it would literally fly if you were in your yard, it would fly from your front door to maybe the end of your yard, possibly not even that far. Whereas, like, you expect your interceptor to be able to go like into the street or possibly further than that. It's
Yeah,
intercepting.
yeah. It could possibly go into the other yard, like depending
Right.
on how large of an area you have, like or what you're trying to do. Like for
Yeah.
instance, like when I was growing up, we had quarter acre lots, and like I could throw it across the street into the other yard,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Okay. See? Yeah.
just standard plane. So when you take that into consideration, like yeah, my interceptor would probably hit their freaking door. Which
Right.
it was
Right.
at this point, like it's all of ours have gotten better, but like
It-
that's what I plan, like I picture that as. So that's probably, you know, 30, 40 yards maybe.
okay. Yeah. We'll give you that.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Possibly.
Like I think that feels like that. I mean, I'm not an expert on yardage when it comes to that, but I
We
mean,
usually like to use yardage. We only
like
use yardage because, well, I know the rest of the world again. We're not really thinking of y'all, but like football fields to us Americans, it's a little bit easier for us to relate. And like everybody knows a football field, so you use like one football field, you know how long it is. So when you use yards, you kind of got a better idea because you see it on the screen, so you know like 10 yards is 10 yards. So if you could picture like, well, what is that? The distance? Well, my driveway is about 15 yards long, and it's at the front of my house. So if it goes from the street 15 yards, the street's probably about another 15. I give it like 12 yards wide, depending on how the city does it. And then if they've got the same kind of yard, you're looking at 30, 40, right around 45 yards from door to door across the street.
yeah,
When,
I would almost put our this one probably closer to 25, 30 yards. I mean, because I mean it's tiny. Like growing up as a kid, I thought it was huge. I thought we had
Yeah.
big yard. I thought we had, you know, huge. Like everybody's yard was like huge, and we all had plenty of room. As an
But as it
adult,
turns out,
yeah, as an adult, and when you realize what you know what you're actually looking at, it's tiny.
it's tiny. Right.
So,
I'm kind of I'm kind of the same way about where I used to fly in South Carolina, even South Carolina. Yeah.
and I'm even trying to relate it to golf as well. Like I know how much like a chip shot would be. Like, you're probably, yeah. I mean, I would be safe to say that it would be a really small, light chip shot for me to hit it from, the house to their house. Like, I mean, it would be like I wouldn't even have to try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not putting,
Yeah.
I'm not doing a full force swing on that to get it across the street because
Right.
it's
Okay.
gonna go and I'm gonna hit their house like super easy. So like, yeah,
Okay.
I
So
don't
yeah,
know.
but you got you. I mean, multiple ways of figuring it out, and obviously, out there in the world, you don't have to use a yard because I mean, seriously, why would if it's something that you can reference easily, it's really all that matters. And the breakdown of that is again just ultimately is this plane that we're talking about, which is most likely going to be considered a defensive weapon, would only go, just to cover your area. Basically, kind of like patrolling again, except it doesn't glide. It's just like a straight little shooter. Which also now that's why I wanted to bring it up, and it's a little bit selfish in my reasoning because if you remember correctly, a few shows back, I was talking about like Valkyrie's looking at being retired unless I can figure out some way to do it. Well, I kind of figured out a way to do it, but that would mean bringing point defense back. And I'm trying to think like, is it worth it? I mean, is that something we do we need that? I mean, hell, we don't need half the roles we've got. We pointed that out in the role show when we did the role symposium last month. I mean, seriously, it's like, do we need half of those? No, not really. We just have them so you like build more designs. So again, like boiling down to that, if we have point defense, that's another design you got to master, right? Can you build
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
basically
you could
a
shrink,
half interceptor?
yeah,
Yeah.
you could shrink it down, your main design down, and possibly get half the distance. Um, then again, you may not, but even so, like, so
And
what
that
you're
is,
saying is do we need it and or is it necessary for what we do,
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
or is there something else that's already fulfilling that kind of,
But by the same token, it's also like, again, half of our roles, do we need them? Not really. Not really. I mean, you don't need a VIP transport. You don't need you technically don't need any other fighter but your interceptor. Well, we do that.
yeah, yeah,
So it's
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 more,
like it
yeah.
could be, yeah. I mean, for real. It's like expanding on just it would, and I'm not saying like obviously if we brought it back because again I think I'm the only one who ever had it, and I had to do exactly that. It was like it was called the Net with a good reason because it literally was that big. It was the front half of this plane. It was only about 4 inches long maximum, and it did have a little bit of a glide to it because it was broad winged and small, but it was for the most part straight. I could have called it a patrol fighter, but I didn't. But in any case, that's that's basically it. It's like I mean, in honesty, it wouldn't really affect anybody because it's like we would put it at the tail end of our list of roles and say like, hey, if you've got it, we're bringing it back. It's just that nobody's had one. Maybe OAE's had one, and that's something else we were kind of trying to discuss. Maybe OAE's had one. I think he might have had it in the list at one point, but I don't know if he does currently. So, and also on that note, if you did bring it back, you could just throw it in the reserves and make it a reserve role entirely because I mean that's what I was kind of thinking about all of the roles that we do have on that sheet that are like we don't like you can have them but you don't need them. The expanded roles. Yeah, so I mean, those would be like strictly reserve roles, like the VIP, something like that, or the extremely large transport, or whatever, or the aerial demonstration team. No, you don't need any of that crap. But if you have it, it could just be something to throw in the reserves to, bolster the reserves.
Well, that
That
is
means,
true. That is true.
yeah, and because some of us really need some help in the reserve department.
I don't know
So,
what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
but in any case,
I don't know
and
what you're
and
talking
again,
about.
it's selfish reasons that drive the question because again, I'm thinking Valkyrie might have a chance at life, and I actually might have it go active as my point defense fighter because that seems to be the one thing it is good at in its current guise. So I don't know if do you guys have anything like that, Mark? Do you got anything that
I
like you think
mean,
you could?
it's possible. I mean, now, yeah, I've got something that could. I mean, it has to be straight.
I think so because your patrol fighter would cover the glide around. Yeah, yeah.
It it would have to be straight. So,
I mean, hell, your
I mean,
base Thunderbolt could probably do it.
I'm sure that one of them could fill that role.
Indeed.
I'm almost positive it could. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
it's
so see that, and that's all I'm thinking. Like, I mean, minor change, and like again, like his members, you probably won't notice it. You just all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? I'm bringing it back, and it won't be inactive. I mean, like actually, it is. I would say it would actually be up to the member whether you choose to make it like your active duty because any role that we have that's expanded is pretty much your at the individual member's whim if you want to make it whatever you want to make it do. So, like I wouldn't say that about the interceptor, but again, like your like transports, I mean they're kind of like recommended expansion. So yeah, they go active duty, but again, like a dogfighter, come on, man. You really need that? Nah, but you can make it active if you want to fill out some wings and stuff. I do. So, but then again, I got the planes to throw around. So,
yeah. I mean, you got 800 million phases, so something's gonna, it's gonna do something.
it's going to do something. So yeah, I'm just considering it. So I would think actually if you're considering something like that, I would say like yes, look at it and um I mean if anything, if you don't have a good interceptor, it would be the one plane that you start off with. Like okay, like it like maybe your first plane, right? Okay, like I'm gonna use this as a bad example, but Draco, all right,
Oh my
maybe Drake.
goodness.
I mean, bad example, but again, maybe it flew in a straight line, right? But it only flew that far. So it could
It,
be your interceptor at first because you're starting out, but as soon as you build a Thunderbolt, it gets relegated to the point defense role. You see what I mean?
it could
So,
have, yes.
yes. I mean, again,
And
like
it and
you
it
wouldn't do it
definitely had
because,
it definitely had that range of
yeah.
garbage. Um,
Burning garbage.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was horrible. Oh my goodness. It's like I can see the folds in that thing and just like cringe.
Well, yeah. That's another reason why you only built like 13 of them, right?
Yeah, I can't believe I built that many.
It's like a flying
I
bus.
can't
I mean,
believe
you did
Thunderbolt
do a
is
pretty
as
good
old.
job with it, but it was a flying bus.
I can't
And
believe that Thunderbolt's as old as it is because
it came from
oh,
the same generation.
it came from then, yeah, and it's like oh my goodness. Although I have tweaked it,
Yeah, yeah,
it's not the same plane that it started out as. So I will say
right.
that. And honestly, I think I'm ready to take it through a new another next level.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, I
going a
think
step
so. I
up
mean,
with.
it's kind of like everything else, like in the military, where at some point, like you just have to, you know, change something. Like you can't just keep using the same technology over and over and over because eventually you've got to adapt to the newer stuff. So
Yeah,
yes, my folds have gotten better, but the folds that create Thunderbolt with what it is are like 20 years old.
right, right.
Like it's just it's probably even older than that because that was what 01
Yeah, I
when
think so. Yeah, yeah.
somewhere around
Sounds about
there,
right. Yeah,
somewhere around in there. So it's
somewhere around in there.
like I don't even have it up. I mean I can pull it up real quick, but it's
Yeah, yeah. Check it out just to make sure.
oh my goodness. Let's watch
And
this
that's
now.
yeah, that's going back. That's going back. But that's exactly kind of like what we're talking about. And again, if you like it, it it's in lieu of retiring whatever it was you choose to go with that, of course. That's the whole key is like you start off with that plane and you're like obviously you probably don't like it.
February February 10th of 01.
See, there you go. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it has a birthday this week.
Holy
So
shit, it does, doesn't it?
it
Yeah, yeah.
does. That's hilarious that we're talking about this. Um, yeah, so it's 20. What is that? 20. Like
21.
basically 20, 21 years old. Oh my goodness.
It's going to be legal this year. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's. I was like, yeah, it's. Yeah, I knew it was coming up. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, that particular. Oh my goodness. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I can't. Spider is like the original Spider is getting ready to turn 21. Twister's turning 21 this year. Vortex already he's Vortex is turning 22 this year. Oh my goodness. And all of those are active.
I don't feel so bad about having planes that are 30 years old and active, at least the base design being 30 years old. But
Yeah,
I
that's what.
mean,
Yeah.
I keep track of that myself. I have a age sheet, you know, or like the sheet of my rolls of my inventory is like the base design. I keep track of their ages, and yeah, it's a little scary
Oh my
for some of
goodness.
these.
Well, yeah, because you still have like,
Javelin,
well,
I
yeah,
mean,
which,
has not changed much since its rollout, and it's
yeah.
34 years
Oh, and
old.
that one has a birthday this week too.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Late this week. So basically Sunday. Oh my goodness.
But
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, he's got 21. I got Venom that's 21, but let's see, Phase 3 is 31, Phase 4 is 28, Nova's 32, Banshee's 20 for crying out loud.
Yeah, phase one.
Phase
Yeah,
1
what is
goes
that?
back to 85.
I
Yeah, but that's
phase. What is that? Yeah, is that the I phase three?
yeah,
That one from 90. So that
from
was
90.
20. So what? That one's 32 years old.
Not yet. It'll
Well,
become
it will
this,
be.
but
Yeah, this July. But still,
yeah.
like it's crazy to.
And
Yeah,
those are the ones I've got to think about retiring because, dude, they're 30 years old. I mean, come on, man. I know it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, you know, this is like a thing where like our folds are better, like we just talked about. So it's like, come on, guys. Surely by now
yeah,
you're going to
like
follow something newer
yeah,
that's
and
better
it's
than
like
that.
sure the folds are better, but it's like if you're it's just weird. Like I don't know if you can you're not going to keep welding the same spot over and over and over again. Eventually you're going to replace it.
Right.
So
Well, luckily,
the design itself has to go through a major overhaul or it has to be replaced. Like it needs it.
yeah. Well, luckily in our case, it's not like so bad because well, they're paper and, you know, like, I mean, unlike me who has a few of these, you know, 30-year-olds hanging out. Uh, it's only a few, so it's not the plane itself that's going through that. It's just the design, and
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
it
yeah. The design itself is that old. The plane itself is could be today.
right, right.
Yeah, so it doesn't have 30 years of flight time on the plane itself, although some of yours do, but that's not the point.
Hopefully, not so much. Oh
But
yeah,
but even so, it's like it it, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to really get into it.
it does. It does. So, but yeah. In any case, keep a lookout, members, non-members. Like point defense is, I at least I'm going to bring it back. I think because I think I'm going to officially accept Valkyrie because it does the job good. And point defense also. Last little blurb on that. I know we're kind of stepping into the next topic, but last little blurb on that is that could be the plane that you use as your lead-in trainer, the lead-in small trainer. It could vie for the same title because that particular aircraft can fly any which way you want it to, and you also something like you slot something into one roll and you don't have that roll, you
Are
got
you
that
gonna
roll.
replace Novolin? Is that what you're really gonna do?
No, probably not, but
You just make a new. Yeah, you know what? Let's just yeah. Hey, you
But then
you
again,
you two figure it
if
out.
I do, yeah, but if I do, then that can go into the reserves. I mean, I've got reserves waiting, so
Yeah, you do. Yeah, yeah, we all. Yeah, yeah, we know.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So on to that. Yeah, we're talking design philosophies. I kind of just wanted to get this out there. Um, Basically, it was like asking you guys and like telling you guys like of Um, man, we really need OAE for something like this, but hopefully he chimes in. Hopefully he's back. Hopefully he's not COVIDed out or burned. I mean, seriously, I'm really, we were talking about him. We were a little concerned, because he lives in Cali, like the hotbed of every aspect of human death there is, besides bombings. But the philosophies are like, uh, taping everything, for example, versus freedom. Um, NASA's over there always used to wonder how like a lot of the times one of the first things I would do is tape the nose shut. Or and leave like I would just tape the nose shut and then leave the entire body straight. Whereas he found out a few of his planes seemed to like it when he taped that stuff closed, right?
Yep. Not only
Yep.
that, but I've noticed that I was always like getting wing pocket stress all the time, and I was frustrated because the poofiness was like causing issues. And then you showed me like how you handled that, where you just push that out to the edge and try to make it even on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
that's,
because
and
it's
those are some of the things that I picked up on that I was like, oh, does that work? And then I started using it, those, techniques and things on a lot of my planes. And now, like, that's all I do. And then, of course, I got better with time. And then you get
right.
crisp lines. Oh, and the fingernail was another one. Whenever you would run your fingernail along the crease,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
that's
And
that's
you
one of those.
use some if you use any device that's there, the pen, a ruler, something like that. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I'm not
I've seen
saying you
videos from
gotta
other
do it
people that
that
use
way.
it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen other videos. You've done that. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like, you don't have to use the fingernail if your fingernail's not, whatever the case, if it's sensitive or like you just don't like it, whatever. So, obviously, yeah, you have those options. Um, but that's exactly what we're talking about is like the philosophy is basically do you like keeping it sharp? Do you find that, like, that poofiness that we're referring to? Some planes like that. Like, do you want to try to keep, like, do you want to not keep it crisp? Do you want to keep it as, like, ramped out as you can. Maybe for that, just what we were talking about. If you want to make an interceptor with shorter range, if you probably took the crease out and made the wing extend, I bet you'd shorten the range.
Yeah, if
You
you had
know,
like a rounded wing pocket.
yeah. And ironically enough, when talking about that, expanding on that, the fingernail also helps out in the exact same way. I don't know if you guys have ever had a chance to explore this. I'm going to use this on a prefab, not this new one I built because this one I don't know if you could see it, but this one has some very crisp lines. And it has some of the philosophies I talked about. I taped everything down. So there's a little bit of a wing pocket here, a little wing pocket here, but tape, 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 tape. It's all taped in various areas, and there's a staple holding the nose. The body's still separate because I can't. I hardly ever stop doing that. But anyway, that's just an idea. But to show you, like, if you got a crease, even if it's sharp, if it's too sharp, you can't fight it. But if you got like, I don't know if you can tell here, a real good example, but like the forewing of the Valkyrie is kind of thicker, obviously because this is only a single wing. There's no fold. But a simple way to poof that out after you got the crease is giving a direct tap with the fingernail on the edge of it. And you can take the crease like out. It might take a little bit of banging, but if you just give them some taps, it poofs it back out. It takes that crease out. I mean, you can pinch. It's harder to do, but you're increasing the stress on it. But if you give it that little tap, usually you can take that sharp of a crease out, and that's a way to expand um, whatever options you've got. If you've actually flown it with the sharp crease and you know what it's going to do, you can just give it the tap, poof it back out, see what it does. It'll most likely change the flight dynamics, but it's easy to take the crease and put it back in after you've done that. So the exact same plane, you can keep doing that to a certain level. I mean, you can't like continuously like bash them back and forth. Then you're gonna need to put a piece of tape all around there and reinforce the strip, which again, something else you can do. Um, but it's highly effective. I've used that a lot, especially on creases that I really didn't want to be there. And like I thought about it with this one again because this one, the outer wings on this one again, I don't know if you can tell, they're not with that thing in the background. They're razor sharp. Those are super creased. Kind of don't like that, so I may actually very well do something like that to bring those wings back out just a little bit. I had no intention of making them that sharp.
Yeah, because I got more rounded on these on Raptor.
On Raptor, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
because it's
so
not. It's crisp, but it's not like super clean on this on these right here, because this wing pocket is poofed out on both sides.
okay. Okay. Have you ever taped all those down?
No,
I mean, I know you don't have too many Raptors, but
no, I have not. I did not because no.
no.
It's not that
Okay.
I didn't want to. It's just that I flew it this way. I just taped the nose, but I flew it this way, and it was working just fine. So I haven't
Right.
messed with it at that point. Like it doesn't. It
Right.
only has a few flights on it, so it's not like
Yeah, that's
still
actually what I meant.
technically.
I didn't mean. I'm sorry. I didn't mean like you obviously got at least 30 of everything because we did the one a days and you built one a
Yeah,
month. You know.
yeah, but those are bodies, so
Right.
it's more like those haven't flown, and I haven't flown that since I've been up here. The only ones that I've flown up here are the Ekron and Dagger and stuff like that. Flew that
On the
um,
failed video.
on the failed video, yeah, which I'm trying to get that done, but I've got a lot of other stuff going on. I'm not going to get off on a tangent, but I've had a lot going on, so I'm not available to really edit that video like I had it done and it crashed on me. I'm still mad about that, but it is what it is at this point.
It is what it is. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, you'll
but
get it back. We'll see it. So.
yeah, I mean it's saved. Like the unedited version is saved, so I didn't lose all of that. I've just got to go back in and put it together where it needs to be and call it a day. But
Right. Right.
I've just had a lot of other things going on that I just haven't had the time
Yeah.
for. So
Yeah.
hopefully by the time
Well, that in Wisconsin weather.
this
I mean, I'm
yeah,
yeah.
this weather changes for us up here and actually gives me some free time to actually do something other than freeze my butt off up here, um, then I should have time for that, and it'll also give me time to probably get this re-insulated and everything else up here. Man, that sounds like a summer project.
Get a line or two up so you can actually access your planes like I can.
Well,
Right.
yeah, it is. It sounds like a summer project that's gonna happen because I really wasn't planning on doing it this summer, like insulating this thing, but I think I'm going to because I don't really want to go through another winter of not. wanting to be up here.
Yeah. Well, you want it in the
Even
summertime
with
too when it
another,
gets super hot.
well, yeah, but the summertime, I'm just gonna suck it up and put a fan up here like I've been doing. I'll figure it out. Because as much as I hated the heat up here during the summertime and I was dying, it was tolerable. Like I could do that over freezing my butt off at minus 40, you know?
And wearing gloves so you can't build and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I can build sweating. Like I mean I'm not a fan of it, but I can build sweating. I can't build with freezing cold hands.
Right. Right.
Which the garage is at 51 downstairs, like downstairs, so that's better than
Reason
what it has been.
right. Reasonable. Reasonable.
Yeah, I still don't understand it and why it's not warmer than and like the thermostat's not putting it where I have it set, but that's another whole nother issue that I'll just look into later.
Indeed.
But it is keeping it warmer. It's warm-ish,
Which
which
is why kind of why we're bringing you the show like this, people, because he's able to handle it a little bit better. He was prepping for this because he knew this was coming, so we could do you this show, and then we can go live later on, and hopefully it's still going to be as comfortable for him in case we do a build, in case we have to use our hands, shit like
yeah,
that.
cause and
So,
that's the thing. Like the weather coming up in the next,
holy crap, dude! You hey, think about it. When we do the show live, it will be Thunderbolt's birthday.
you're right. It will be.
It will be. That will be the
That's right.
day.
We will be on the day. So yeah,
That'll be pretty cool. We
how
actually
about
hit the
that?
show on a regular day there. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
didn't even think about it.
Make sure you have a Thunderbolter 8 ready or something like that. You know, just for the
Oh,
hell of it. Just for the hell of it. Um yeah, anyway. So
not that.
what?
I said not that one. I grabbed the
Not
wrong
that
one.
one. Oh, you got some in there. Okay, yeah, yeah.
I grabbed the
You
wrong
got
one.
some handy. Thunderbolts he always has handy, man. Thunderbolts are always there, so
Are they?
well, I think
like,
so.
like they are, but like I gotta find the stack
But
that
look,
they're
don't prove me wrong now. Come on now. Yeah, I
in.
know you got him over there.
Oh, wait. Huh. See,
There we go.
this is one of the newer. This
The
is one of
newer
the newer.
design styles.
Yeah,
Which you haven't really like you haven't really you don't know
it's
what those
slightly
are. You haven't
different.
given well, I mean like you haven't given it like a name. It's not Thunderbolt B, C, Mark One,
Yeah,
Type Three,
like I
something like
haven't,
that. You
I
don't know what
haven't.
that is yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't, and honestly, I haven't really done that with any of the other ones. With the, because they're really just reverse. Those were just like reverse folds and stuff like that, but it was different. But this one in particular is much different um,
Yeah,
than than the others.
than the others. Okay.
So this one's definitely gonna be part of the overhaul that I've been working on because I like this one. I like the way this one looks.
Well, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's can I see? I wonder if I
The lighting's kind of not showing off the fold so well.
yeah, it's not showing it off so well, but the
Yeah.
shadows are causing problems too. So like I'm trying to get it in focus and
It's a little bit harder for us to kind of like show you guys. We're trying to get it so that I mean, we got the lighting down,
I
but the lighting
am
is like
I am
bright as
working on
hell.
I
So,
am working on the lighting as well. I've got some stuff here that I'm gonna try so it gets rid of the shadow, but hopefully doesn't create like a brightness. But you can see the folds on that, and then of course the fold on the wing,
yep. Yep.
on the wing down there. Yeah, there's the wing pocket right there. So
Yeah. So see that and that that's exactly too. Like the different folds is also part of the same philosophy because um in general, you can obviously do that with any one of your planes. You could reverse it one, any fold you wish. But do you find like in yours, do you like keep all the folds inside? Do you put all the folds outside? Do you split them half and half? Do you have a tendency to go that way with every plane, every design that you have, or because that would again, that's kind of like your philosophy is like, well, I like to put them all on the bottom of the planes outside, so my wing pockets are always here and then down there. Yeah, that could be your way, but maybe your way is like all over the place. Again, one of the reasons talking about my planes are so old is because, as we like to point out, I'm a tinkerer. So the reason why I hold on to these so long, and we're turning Mark into a tinkerer too, because you hold on to these planes that long instead of finding new designs because you're wringing more out of the same design. Once
Yeah,
we find out this is better and this is better, you stick with it. So
yeah, and it took me. I mean, I was years that I was fighting like, man, I need new planes. I need new planes. I need new planes. I need new planes. Well, I never really worked with what I had, and then I always lost stinking planes, and then like
right.
I mean, it's yeah, Condor, Stingray, Rorix, you know, Black Squire, Black Knight, like all of those gone, just gone. And it's
Gone.
like and I was actually excited about the Squire and the Knight. Like I was like super pumped about them. Um,
They
Firecat
were really,
Firecat
if
came
they were,
along.
like I said, I remember they were really cool. I mean, they really were. I like their look. I don't know how you made them like that, but they look really cool.
Yeah,
So,
I don't remember, and I wish that we had photos to even remotely try to go back and copy them because I mean I almost lost Swallow,
right,
but
right.
I managed to get that one pulled out of the grave. Pulled Twister out of the grave as well because Twister was in that boat. Firecat, I don't necessarily know how I don't know how that one survived as well because that was from the same time. But maybe I just remembered how to build that one because it was fairly simple.
Yeah,
Because it was fairly simple,
right,
and that's probably why I was able to remember it.
right. So, yeah, but,
Yeah. So,
um,
and
yeah.
that's another thing like design philosophies, like delta diamonds versus non-delta diamonds.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because
Like
they happen so easily when you least expect them. Right, yeah,
if
I
you're
mean, this point,
constantly, yeah, like for instance, like mine are more delta diamond than anything.
yep,
Like
yep.
I was doing it a ton. Like Draco and
Vortex,
Dia Draco and
Vortex.
Diablo were like the only
Well,
two that didn't have it,
the
and
only
Phantom
two you,
Lightning.
yeah, the only two
If
you had that
yeah,
didn't have it. Yeah.
Phantom Lightning, yeah, Swallow. Those are like now I've got more. I've got Ekron, I've got Dagger, I've got um, what else do I got? Raptor. What Hagataka has. It's not really Delta Diamond, but um,
It's more like this. It's more like, yeah,
yeah,
like a little bit trimmed down Thunderbolt. Right.
yeah. So I've got quite a few that are not now because I've specifically worked, and that was my design philosophy during that was that I specifically want stuff that's not. Oh, Ninja. Ninja is the other one that I was trying to think of.
There you go. Yep.
Ninja's
Yep.
another one that doesn't have it, but I was specifically trying to not have them. So like that's one of the things that I was working on during those designs was whatever I got to do to make it not have a Delta Diamond, that's what I'm going to do. Because for the longest time, that's all I had, other than Draco, Diablo, and Phantom Lightning. That was it. Like everything else, Spider, Spider, Vortex, um, Thunderbolt. Basically, half my squad had them, and then I was like always making them. Firecat came along, had it. Twister has it. I'm sure Rorik's had it at some point.
Probably.
I
You
think
really
he
were
did.
working with that for a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it came out around the same time. Um, Black Squire, Black Knight did not have it from what I can remember. Viper has it though. Um, and what else do I? What else am I missing here? Um, uh, what else am I missing? Let's scroll down here and
Running
see.
through he's running through his entire sheet, his whole
Let's do it this.
repertoire.
Duh, I got it right here.
There you go. How in the
Well,
hell
that
did I
is
manage
it.
to
That
call
is
it good?
that is it. I mean, I've got Diablo, Vortex, Spider, Twister, Thunderbolt, Swallow, Draco, Black Squire, Black Knight, Viper, Firecat, Ninja, Raptor, Hagataka, Dagger, and Necron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's the
yeah,
full lineup.
that's the
All right.
full lineup right as of right now until I start replacing stuff that no longer exists. Um,
Or if you decide that just looks a little different.
yeah, and it's like okay, let me. Dang, do I have those? Is that what that means? Is that gold for? Is that what that means? Is gold for the palace?
I think so. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what that
I believe
was?
that's exactly what you chose for it. So yeah,
Is that gold color for the palace? Because that would suck.
yeah. That would suck.
Yeah, like if it meant something else, it would suck. I can't believe. See, that's what's so bad when you see all this red. Like now I know it's just like okay, this is just bad. Like I
He's talking about people you're not seeing it, but he's talking about his inventory sheet, which we
yeah,
keep. A lot of us keep, and like the red usually indicates it's
gone.
lost or KIA. It's been destroyed one way or the other.
It's gone.
So it's gone.
It's gone. I don't have it anymore. Cannot get it back. It is gone. And Thunderbolt Tag Nabbit is a big one. That one hurts. That one hurts because I went through a lot with that one. That was my one a day from the original. I just built
The
Thunderbolt.
original.
Like I started with others and then like that was it. And no, uh, yeah, we had 12 Dracos. So yeah, I didn't make it to 13. Um, but yeah, I've got to update all this numbering stuff because I got all of these that I got to go back and number. Oh man, I
Right.
hate that. I hate this. So that's something that I gotta
Wha-
and I gotta put them at bases. I gotta. Oh my goodness, I got too much work to do.
It's
Too much
not
work
that
to do.
bad once you just take the dominoes down, but yeah, you got a little bit of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
got a
just
lot.
we're
I
just
got a.
talking about some NASA's projects that he's got to do and
I
what
do.
members have to go through. That's all. I mean, I can help you out with some of that. Some of
It's
that.
not
That's
even.
not
It's
all of it.
not even that. It's more so like I just need to have the time to sit down and do it. And hopefully, like now that I'm no longer like moving 24/7,
Yeah.
and I've got a permanent place, and the winter like now that I've had my first real winter again, I know what to expect, know what I need for heat wise and everything else, then
Yeah.
I'll I'll be better prepared and I won't be in such a bind. But um yeah, like I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else on the
No, that about covers it. We talked. We hit on the topics. Um, people, we hit on the topics, and like we got it. We got you what you need. So hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. We'll get this out to you. Look for our live show. In the meantime, whatever you do to do yourselves and better your designs.
keep them flying?